Hello everyone, my name is Terry, and today I want to talk with you about something that could completely change the way you think about success. Most people believe that successful people are just lucky, or maybe they were born with special talent, or they just work harder than everyone else. But today I want to share a different idea, one that scientists, psychologists, and the most successful people in the world all agree on. Success is not about luck. Success is not about talent. Success is a habit. This is a video podcast for people who are learning English and want to improve their listening skills. So, wherever you are right now, at home, on the bus, at the gym, I am so glad you are here. If you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. Your support really helps this channel grow. So, let's jump in. Part 2, what is a habit really? Before we talk about success, let me ask you something simple. What did you do this morning? Did you brush your teeth, make coffee, check your phone, maybe exercise? You probably did not think very hard about these things. You just did them, automatically, without effort. That is what a habit is. A habit is a behavior that becomes automatic through repetition. You do it so many times that eventually your brain does it without thinking. Scientists estimate that about 40 to 45% of our daily actions are habits, not decisions, not choices. Just automatic behaviors running in the background. Think about that for a moment. Almost half of your day is habits. Now here is the really important question. Are your habits taking you closer to the person you want to be, or further away? Because here is the truth that most people miss. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Let me say that again, because it is one of the most powerful ideas I know. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. It means that your goals do not determine your success. Your daily habits do. Part 3. The myth of overnight success. Let me tell you about a famous musician. He became world famous when he was about 25 years old. People called him an overnight success. They said, wow, he appeared from nowhere. But here is what most people did not know. He had been practicing for over 10 years before anyone knew his name, every single day. Even on weekends, even when no one was watching, even when no one cared, he was not an overnight success. He was a 10-year preparation that looked like an overnight success. This is true for almost every person you admire. The success you see is public. The habits that created it were private. We see the result. We do not see the thousands of hours of quiet, consistent practice. And this is actually very good news, because it means success is not some mysterious gift. It means success is available to anyone willing to build the right habits. Let's dive into the fascinating science of how habits actually work. It all comes down to what scientists call the habit loop. Step 1 is the cue, the trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode. It could be an alarm or even a specific emotion. Step 2 is the routine, the physical or mental action you take in response to that trigger. And step 3 is the reward, the positive feedback that tells your brain, this felt good, do it again. Together, these 3 parts form a loop that repeats until the behavior becomes completely automatic. Here's the key. You can't easily delete a bad habit, but you can replace the routine. Keep the same cue and the same reward, but choose a better action. That is how you rewire your brain for lasting change. Start small, rewire your loop, and build the life you want. You've got this. I want to share with you one of my favorite ideas about habits and success. It comes from a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And the idea is beautifully simple. If you improve by just 1% every day, after 1 year you will be 37 times better than when you started, 37 times, from just 1% per day. Now think about the opposite. If you get 1% worse every day for 1 year, you decline to almost zero. You lose nearly everything. The difference between these two paths is not dramatic. It is not about big dramatic changes. It is about tiny daily choices, repeated consistently over time. James Clear calls these atomic habits. Atomic because they are small, like atoms. But atoms are also the building blocks of everything. Small habits are the building blocks of a remarkable life. Imagine person A. They go to the gym for 2 hours every day. They go hard for 2 weeks, get exhausted, skip a few days, and eventually stop completely. Person B does 10 push-ups every single morning. After 3 months, they feel great. They naturally start doing 15, then 20, the habit grows. Small and consistent always beats big and unsustainable. Always. Let me ask you something. How do you start your day? Do you wake up, immediately check your phone, scroll through social media for 20 minutes, and then rush to get ready feeling already behind and stressed? Or do you wake up with intention, with a small ritual that sets the tone for everything that comes after? I am not going to tell you that you need to wake up at 5 a.m. and meditate for an hour and run 10 kilometers. That is not realistic for most people, and it is not necessary. But I'm going to tell you this. The first 30 minutes of your day have an enormous influence on everything that follows. Your morning routine is like a signal to your brain. It says, this is the kind of person I am. This is how I operate. This is my standard. Research on high-performing people, athletes, CEOs, writers, artists, shows some common patterns in their morning routines. Not all of them do the same things, but they all do have intentional routines. They avoid checking their phone and they do some form of physical movement. None of these things are difficult, but done consistently, they build a foundation. They create momentum. And momentum, once started, is surprisingly powerful. Now I want to share what I think is the most important idea in this entire podcast, and it comes down to one word: identity. Most people try to build habits by focusing on outcomes. They say, I want to lose 10 kilograms. I want to speak English fluently. These are outcome-based goals, and the problem with them is that they do not tell you who to be. They only tell you what to achieve. The most powerful habit change happens when you shift from outcome-based thinking to identity-based thinking. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to learn English, say, I am an English speaker. Every time you practice for 15 minutes, you are casting a vote for that identity. No single vote decides the election, but over thousands of votes, over hundreds of days, a clear identity emerges. And once your identity is clear, the habits follow naturally. The goal is not to learn English. The goal is to become a person who speaks English. Here is something that most motivational content will never tell you. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you wake up full of energy and ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel tired and uninspired. And if you wait for motivation to show up before you take action, you will spend a lot of time waiting. Professionals show up whether they feel like it or not. Think about a dentist. They do not wake up every morning excited to look at teeth, but they go to work. They are consistent. There is a powerful concept called showing up small. On the days when motivation is zero, do not skip entirely. Do the minimum version. If you have no energy, study for 5 minutes. If you are exhausted, do just 5 push-ups. Don't break the chain. Idiom: never miss twice. Miss one day and it is an accident. Miss 2 days in a row and it is the start of a new habit. Your environment shapes your behavior far more than your willpower does. Willpower is limited. It is like a muscle. It gets tired throughout the day. By evening, your willpower is nearly empty. But your environment is always working, silently, automatically. It either makes your good habits easier or your bad habits harder. Make good habits easier. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow every morning so you see it at night. Want to exercise in the morning? Put your gym clothes next to your bed the night before. Make it the first thing you see. Want to eat healthier? Put fruit on the kitchen counter and put junk food at the very back of the cupboard. Want to study English every day? Leave your notebook open on your desk, visible and ready, so starting requires almost no effort. Make bad habits harder. Want to stop scrolling? Put your phone in another room while you sleep. Remove the remote. You do not need more discipline. You need a smarter environment. Make good choices easy and bad choices inconvenient. Now I want to speak directly to you as an English learner, because everything we have discussed today applies perfectly to language learning. Learning English is not about one long intensive study session per week. It is about small, consistent daily contact with the language. Think about how children learn their native language. They do not study grammar textbooks for 8 hours on Saturday. They hear the language every day, all around them, constantly. And slowly, without even trying, they absorb it. You can create a similar experience for yourself, even as an adult. Here is how. The 5 daily English habits. Listen for at least 15 minutes every day. A podcast, a video, a song, something in English, every day without exception. Learn 3 new words each morning. Write them, say them out loud, use them in a sentence. Just 3. That is over 1,000 words per year. Think in English for 5 minutes during your day. On the bus, in the shower, while cooking. Just narrate your day in English in your head. Write 1 sentence in English every evening. In a journal, in a notes app, anywhere. Just one sentence about your day. Speak out loud, even alone. Read this podcast script out loud. Repeat phrases from videos. Imitate native speakers. Your mouth needs practice, not just your brain. These 5 habits take about 25 minutes per day total. That is less than one episode of a television series. But done every day for a year, they will transform your English. The question is not whether these habits work. They work. The question is whether you will do them consistently, even on the days when you do not feel like it. And the answer to that question, that is the difference between the person who dreams and the person who actually does. I need to talk about something that nobody likes to talk about. What happens when you fail? When you break the habit and feel like all your progress is gone? Because this will happen to everyone. Maybe you study English every day for 3 weeks, and then you go on holiday and completely stop. This is normal. This is human. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be persistent. Perfection is not possible. Persistence is. When you fall off, the worst thing you can do is be harsh on yourself. Instead, just say, okay, that happened. I am back now. And continue. No drama, no guilt, no starting over from zero. Just continue from where you are. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people get back up faster with less drama and they keep going. Stand up 8. I want to share one more technique that I find incredibly useful. It is called habit stacking. The idea is simple. You attach a new habit to an existing one. You use something you already do automatically as the cue for something new. For example, after I make my morning coffee, I will study 3 new English words. Or, after I get on the bus, I will listen to an English podcast. You are linking new behaviors to existing ones. Your brain already has strong neural pathways for your current habits. This uses those pathways. Start with just one stack. One new habit attached to one existing one. Do it for 30 days, then add another. Small and consistent. Always. That's the secret. Let's look at 6 powerful daily habits that research consistently links to long-term success. They require daily commitment. Habit 1. Define your one most important task. Do that one thing first before email or social media. Your MIT. Habit 2. Protect your learning time. Block 15 minutes every day for learning. Treat it like a meeting you cannot cancel. Habit 3. Reflect for 5 minutes before bed. Ask what you did well and what you'll focus on tomorrow. Habit 4. Move your body every day. Exercise improves concentration and mood. Even a 20-minute walk counts. Habit 5. Protect your sleep. Deprivation destroys willpower. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours every night. Habit 6. Review your goals weekly. Spend 10 minutes on Sunday reviewing your direction. What is working? What needs adjustment? None of these are glamorous, but done consistently, they build a life most people only dream about. Small and consistent. Always. Before we move into our vocabulary section, I want to give you a short but powerful exercise. Take about 2 minutes with this. Really think. I want you to think about one area of your life where you want to improve. It could be your English, your health, your career, or your relationships. Choose one. Now ask yourself these 4 questions. Number 1, what does success look like in this area specifically? Not vague, specific. What would it look and feel like? Number 2, what habit, if done every day, would move me towards that goal? Just one habit, small and clear. Number 3, what is the cue I will use to trigger this habit? When and where will I do it? Number 4, what obstacle usually stops me, and how can I design my environment to remove that obstacle? Write your answers down if you can. Research shows that people who write down their goals and plans are significantly more likely to follow through on them. This small exercise could be the beginning of something that changes your life. I mean that genuinely. And now we arrive at one of the most valuable parts of every episode, the vocabulary section. I have selected 15 words and expressions from today's podcast that I really want you to learn, remember, and use. These are B2 level, a little more advanced, but all used regularly by native speakers in everyday life. Listen carefully and try to create your own sentence after each one. Number 1, consistent. Consistent. Definition: doing something regularly and in the same way over a long period of time without stopping or changing. A consistent person does not only work hard when they feel like it, they work at the same level every day, regardless of mood or circumstances. Consistency is considered one of the most important qualities for long-term success. It's used in business, sports, education, and everyday life. Synonyms include reliable, steady, persistent, regular, unwavering, and dependable. Example sentences. The most successful athletes are not necessarily the most talented, they are the most consistent. Being consistent with your English study, even for just 15 minutes a day, will produce remarkable results over time. She was not the fastest learner in the class, but she was the most consistent, and she finished first. Mini dialogue. Person A says, I started going to the gym 3 times last week, but then I stopped again. Person B responds, that's the pattern you need to break. It's better to go once a week consistently than 3 times one week and nothing the next. Person A asks, so consistency matters more than intensity, and person B finishes, always. Consistency beats intensity every single time. To master habit building, you need to understand 2 key concepts, incremental and accountability. Let's look at what they mean. First, incremental. It means growing in very small steps over time. Think of it as that 1% improvement, invisible at first, but powerful over time. You might not feel a leap daily, but after 6 months, the change is remarkable. That's incremental progress. Trust the process. Next is accountability. This is about being responsible for your actions. It means taking ownership of your progress without making excuses. Sharing your goals with a friend creates accountability. We behave differently when we know someone is watching and supporting us. Embrace incremental growth and find an accountability partner. These are the tools for lasting change. 2 words can make or break your habits: procrastinate and sustainable. Let's look at why they matter so much for your success. First, procrastinate. It means to delay doing something important by doing easier, more enjoyable things instead. It's the biggest enemy of progress. The best cure? Just start. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Just write 1 sentence or do 1 small task. Next is sustainable. This describes something you can maintain over a long period without burning out. Sustainable is the opposite of extreme. Studying for 4 hours a day isn't sustainable for most, but 30 focused minutes every single day, that is how you build a lifelong habit. Stop procrastinating and start small. Make your habit sustainable and you'll see remarkable results. You've got this. Next up in our vocabulary block is a truly powerful word, perseverance. Here is how you pronounce it, Perseverance. Perseverance is the quality of continuing to work towards a goal despite difficulty, discouragement, or failure. It is about awareness and never giving up. You might also know it as persistence, determination, tenacity, or grit. It is that staying power that keeps you going. Learning a language requires genuine perseverance. There will be plateaus, frustrations, and moments of doubt. Her perseverance over 5 years of rejection finally led to the breakthrough she had been working toward. Perseverance is not always glamorous. It is often just quietly continuing when everything in you wants to stop. A. I've been trying to speak English confidently for years and I still freeze sometimes. B. That's actually normal. The perseverance you've shown is what's going to get you there. A. It just feels like it's taking so long. B. It is taking long, but the people who quit aren't further ahead, they're just stuck where they gave up. Today we're diving into habit science, starting with a very important word, trigger. A trigger is something that causes another thing to happen automatically, a cue or signal that starts a chain of events. Triggers can be external, like time or place, or internal, like an emotion. For many, stress is a trigger for unhealthy eating. In a dialogue, I sit down at my desk and feel overwhelmed. That feeling is your trigger. Recognize it and choose a different response. Next up, willpower. It's the mental energy and self-control to resist temptations and delay gratification. Think of willpower like a muscle. It gets tired throughout the day. This is why successful people rely on habits instead. If you lack energy in the evening, move your study time to the morning when your willpower is at its peak. Master your triggers and conserve your willpower. Today, we're exploring 2 powerful concepts that are essential for your English journey and beyond. First up is momentum. Momentum. It's a word we use in physics, but it's just as important in life and habits. Definition: the force or energy that builds up when something is moving forward and makes it easier to continue. Once you start doing something regularly, it becomes easier and easier to keep going. It's used in sports, business, and everyday conversation. Synonyms include drive, flow, forward motion, traction, and impetus. Example: Once I started studying English every morning, I built real momentum. Missing a day actually felt wrong. Small daily wins create momentum that makes bigger achievements possible. Person A says, I've been exercising every day for 2 weeks now, and it feels hard to stop. Person B responds, that's momentum. Once you build it, it carries you forward almost automatically. Our second concept is the compound effect. Compound effect. This is where the real magic happens over time. Definition: the way that small, consistent actions accumulate over time and produce results that are much larger than expected, like compound interest in a bank. Example: reading just 10 pages of English per day creates a compound effect. After 1 year, you have read over 30 books. Small daily improvements are incredibly powerful. I says, 10 minutes of English a day doesn't seem like much. B responds, that's the compound effect. 10 minutes every day is 60 hours per year. Small numbers compound into big results. So, start small, build your momentum, and let the compound effect work for you. Today we're mastering 2 key English terms, setback and long-term thinking. A setback is a problem or disappointment that delays your progress toward a goal. Common synonyms include obstacle, stumbling block, or challenge. It's a temporary step backwards, not the end. For instance, she experienced a major setback when she failed her exam, but used it as motivation to study more. I missed 2 weeks of study, but that's a setback, not a failure. Just start again gently. Next, let's talk about long-term thinking, the foundation of successful habits. Long-term thinking is making decisions based on what's best for your future, not just what's easiest right now. It's also called strategic thinking or playing the long game. It requires the ability to delay gratification. Example: studying English daily requires long-term thinking. The benefits are not immediate, but they are enormous. I want results now. But that's short-term thinking. Think about the person you will be in a year. Use long-term thinking to overcome every setback. Today we explore 2 powerful concepts for personal growth: gratitude and resilience. First, gratitude. It's the feeling of being thankful and appreciative for the good things in your life. Research shows that actively practicing gratitude literally rewires the brain to notice the positive. It's not about pretending life is perfect, but choosing to notice what is good, even when things are hard. Next is resilient. This describes the ability to recover quickly and effectively from setbacks or pressure. Resilience isn't a fixed trait. It builds like a muscle, through resistance and recovery again and again. A resilient person moves through difficulty, learns from it, and comes out stronger on the other side. Start practicing today. Notice the good, keep moving forward, and build a stronger you. And now we arrive at the end of today's episode. Let me leave you with the most important thought. Success is not a destination. It is something you build quietly, one small habit at a time. The person who speaks English confidently or is healthy and energetic built a daily habit and protected it. They made small choices every day for a long time. Practice deliberately, reflect honestly, keep going. You already have everything you need. You do not need more time or perfect conditions. You just need one small habit. Starting today, 1% better every day. That is all it takes. Choose your habit. Design your environment. Stack it onto something you already do. And on the days when you do not want to do it, do the minimum version. Never miss twice. Success is a habit. Thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Tell me, which habit are you starting this week? I'll be cheering for you. See you next time.